Greetings, Life Masterers. Welcome back to my channel, Lady Boss Life Mastery, where I bring you tips and tools to improve different areas of your life. Today, guys, we're going to be talking about habits and the habits that I have personally used and millions around the world have used to help them to change their lives for the better. Now, guys, a reason why we might want to change our habits is to change our life. Now, there's a number of reasons that trigger us to do something like this, to change our habits. It could be due to the fact that we see people around us who have a better standard of living or better lifestyles and are doing things that they love and are passionate about. And we're working in a 9 to 5 in the same old rut, and we're thinking, there's more to life than this and I want that more. Maybe it's that. Or maybe there's been a recent crisis in your life, or you suffered a loss or bereavement, or maybe there's been a major terminal illness in your life, or a crisis. Any number of these things can trigger people to want to change. And today, guys, I'm here to tell you about the habits that I personally used that have created change in my life. So guys, before we get into the whole nitty-gritty of it all, I want to just take a couple of minutes to discuss habits, what they are, and a bit of the psychology behind them. So first of all, guys, nothing too complex, just a bit of the psychology behind a habit. Now, a habit has 3 different parts, whether we knew that or not. I didn't know that until about a year ago. So the 3 parts is the trigger. So it's the trigger to the habit. It's the routine of the habit, and it's the actual reward of the habit. So there's 3 parts. Now let me give you an example just so you can understand what I'm talking about. For example, if your habit is to have a cup of coffee in the morning, your trigger is when you come downstairs into your kitchen and you see the kettle. That would be your trigger for your morning cup of coffee. Now the actual routine, so the second part of it, would be flicking of the kettle and seeing the steam bubble up, or the pressing of the coffee machine. And that's the actual routine of your habit. And then the last bit that I was talking about, the third bit, is the actual reward. So the reward of that is the smell of the coffee making, you tasting the coffee, and the hit of caffeine. So guys, every single habit we have in life has that psychology, and it has that loop. So it's the trigger, the routine, and the reward. So please do always bear that in mind with every habit that you have in life, and try and work out your triggers and your actual rewards, because you'll be able to understand your habits a bit better. And another wonderful fact I wanted to let you guys know about habits is that it takes 21 days to break a current habit. Yep, 21 days. So that's 3 weeks to dissolve a current habit. And it takes 66 days, which is approximately 2 months. And this information has come from a reputable psychology study. It takes 66 days to form a new habit. So that's 2 months, guys. So please do bear those 2 important facts in mind when I go on to tell you about the habits that changed my life. And please do ensure that you're applying those 2 things to the new habits that you're going to try and create. Okay guys, so let's get into the nitty-gritty of habit creating and the ones that I created. Now, I personally created 5 habits to change my life for the better. So guys, before I get into the actual habits that I use to change my life, I want to put into context a bit about the crisis that actually brought me here. And yeah, it was a crisis. A couple of years ago, we had a builder doing some major houseworks. We thought he was a reputable builder, so we used him, and unfortunately it turned out that he was a master manipulator, and he basically conned us out of a heck of a lot of money. And it was a real crisis for my family. We sort of hit rock bottom and couldn't believe it had happened to us, and how could we have been so stupid, and really just going through all those motions. And we kind of sat there in the victim mentality for a bit. And it's fine if something like that and a crisis happens during your life. It's fine for you to be a victim, but don't stay a victim. There's a book I've read which is called, Shut Up and Move On. And it basically tells you that it's fine to be a victim for a bit and put on your t-shirt and have a good old sob and cry and feel sorry for yourself. But we have to shut up and move on from our victim stories. So guys, that's a bit of the background as to why I wanted to change my life. And after that, I vowed to myself that, you know what, no one was going to do me over again, and I was going to start increasing my income to make sure that I was never put into that position again. So guys, the first habit that I created was to start a passive stream of income. Now, what does this mean? A passive stream of income means that you're simply creating something that gives you money without you having to do anything for it. So for example, property is a perfect example. If you have a buy-to-let property and it gives you money every month, the rent that comes in is the money that you get, the passive income. And generally you're not doing anything for it if the management company is managing your property. So the habit that I created, guys, was from that day onwards to start researching how I could get passive streams of income. And fast forward to today, guys, which is 3 years later, I have most definitely increased my passive income, and I don't think I'd ever been in a position that I was in those 3 years ago. But I don't think if that crisis hadn't happened to me, if I'd be here today in this position. It was only the fact that that happened to me that propelled me into this position. So in a way, guys, I'm grateful that God sort of, made that happen to me. Because if that didn't happen to me, I would have remained the person that I was at that point in time. So it just goes to show that some crises do happen to us for the better, even though we don't know the reason why at the time. So that was the first habit I implemented, guys. Now the second habit was to actually start and change my morning routine. I've read quite a few books about morning routines and how they changed the life of millionaires and some of the most successful people we have in the world today. So I thought that I'd give it a try. And until this very day, I implement those very same routines. So the second routine that I implement, guys, is to actually wake up and do some meditation. Now, I know some people might think, oh, this is all gobbledygook and, it doesn't work. And guys, believe me when I say it really works. Most of us will wake up at the beginning of the day and we get straight into the day and we're really reactive and our head is full of everything and we have so much to do and we're just sort of rolling with the punches and just going with the flow. Guys, if you wake up in the morning and the first thing you do is play some meditation music and just meditate and clear your mind for, even if it's only for 5 minutes. There's times when I've done it for a minute. You know what, guys? You give yourself that gift of time and give it to your mind and your body, and it just clears your head for the day and it clears your space and it gives you a greater capacity to think. So meditation is definitely a big yes from me, and it's made a massive change in my life because I want to start my day with a clear head where I know where I'm going, where I'm doing what I want to do. So that's habit number 2. Habit number 3 that I've implemented is visualizing success. So guys, once I have done my morning meditation, I will lay there and I will just close my eyes and visualize the day that I want to have in front of my eyes. And guys, this literally is one of the most powerful exercises that I have implemented. And I never thought when I started doing this that it could even manifest itself into something real. But every time I do this and I visualize myself having a great day, having loads of fun with the kids, achieving all my goals, having the successful relationships that I want to have with the people that I want to have them with, everything happening the way I want to have it, for it to happen, it happens. And yeah, sometimes things does happen that I don't visualize, but that's life. And as long as I don't let it affect me in a bad way, then that visualization that I did for success, it really had a positive impact on my day. So visualizing success is another really important thing, and there's loads of YouTube guides on how to do this, guys. I just type in a YouTube guide on visualizing success, and I'll do that for a couple of minutes too. Okay, great. So we've done the passive source of income research, we've done the morning meditation, and we've done the visualization of success. Now, the next thing that I do, guys, is that I will exercise. And I literally exercise religiously every day without fail. And I give myself this hour because that's for me, it's for my body, it's to energize my body, it's to release good hormones, and it's just to ensure that I'm in the best optimum health in order to be the most productive that I can be for my day. And guys, I get a double whammy in here because the fifth habit that I implemented was, sorry, did I say fifth? Fifth habit that I implemented was to start reading one book a month. Now, the most successful people in this world, the most successful CEOs, they all read. They read religiously. They can't read enough. And I have taken on that habit, and I think today I've read about 200 books. Now, what I did to optimize my time, because I love to do things that optimize my time, I don't like to waste a minute, was I started reading while I was on the treadmill. So I'd walk for an hour on the treadmill and also get my reading in. Guys, I mean, it can't get better than that. You're hitting two birds with one stone. And that was new habit 4 and 5. And, you might get funny looks in the gym, but guys, we shouldn't really care about what other people are thinking about. It's what we're doing for ourselves and what change we're making. So yeah, that's habit number 5, guys. I hope those habits give you some ideas on what habits you can implement and how you can actually implement them. If you do have any questions on those, then please do leave that on the comments below. Guys, I want to add a new section into the video this week, and that's basically the what not to do's. I know everyone talks about what to do and how to do this and how to do that, but I think there's not enough spoken about what not to do. So my one tip this week on what not to do when creating new habits to change your life is to try and implement 10 new habits in one day. Now, I've personally done this myself, where today I've been like, right, the first day I'm going to implement this, that, I'm going to drink tons of water, I'm going to read 50 pages of a book, I'm going to do half an hour meditation, I'm going to complete 3 things on my to-do list, I'm going to complete 3 things on my not to-do list, and try to implement those 10 things in one day. Guys, I think I mentioned in my last video, we really need to give ourselves a gift of time. And like I said, it takes 2 months to implement a new habit. So why don't we be kind to ourselves, and why don't we give ourselves 2 months to implement the first habit, which is the research on the passive sources of income, and then give ourselves another 2 months on the second habit and creating it, the meditation, and so on and so forth. Because the more focus we give something, then the better it's going to stick. So guys, my advice is to take things at your own pace. If you can start 1 or 2 habits at the same time, then do that. Or if you need to start 1 habit and just try that for 2 months until that becomes part of your routine, then do whatever works best for you. Obviously, we're all different, we're all quite unique, and we learn things in different ways. So just do what works for you. Okay guys, well that's it for this week. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please do give me a like, and if you have any suggestions on what you'd like to see next week, then do leave that in the comments. And if you have any feedback on my video today, then also do leave comments on that. And lastly, question of the day is, what is the one habit that you'd like to change? Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, guys, so you can be notified next week of my video to inspire and motivate you to improve your life. Ciao, my life masters.